The International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking is observed every year on the 26th of June to spreading awareness about the serious issues caused because of drug abuse across the world. The aim is to strengthen action and cooperation to achieve the goal of an international society free of drug abuse. I mean, this is a very important day. Yeah. Very important because, I mean, recent stories that have been going around social media, the death of the TV man and all of that, you would hear stories around cocktail mix and all of that, that young people now age 20-something,
what did you say?
16, 14,
I've heard
15.
From the age of
I think we need to
9.
dedicate a day to have a conversation.
Drug, yes, we have to talk about drug because now it's so scary, the mixtures just to get a high. So someone was talking to me about drug cocktails, mixture with sex and all of that, that it gives a kind of high that is different. I say, okay. So this is a very important day, and I'm grateful to the NDLEA in Nigeria. They've been working really hard because every day you see them, I mean, stories in the news about them uncovering drug, illicit, yes. I don't know why.
I think it's the Buba Marwa factor.
Oh. So he's doing a good job.
Oh, he's always doing a good job at everything he does. Remember when he was governor of Lagos State?
Yeah.
He really made a difference. So I give him thumbs up.
I think for some strange reason, 3 government institutions now that I'm really proud of, you know, NDLEA, immigration, and what's the last?
If she does not mention immigration, it should not be confused.
Yes, they are doing a good job.
And INEC.
Okay,
no, is it INEC
I'm
now?
about INEC for the moment.
Well, but they are doing a good job. I can't remember the third one.
INEC.
I mean, I like what they're doing. With
Okay,
maybe
what did we find in the news? Please.
No, maybe not. You should have just, you see?
Please, yo.
Let me start.
Let me please.
Okay,
my lovely lady lawyer looking all beautiful.
Thank you. No, I won't give you this dress because it's not.
I have to hail you because this dress is not
your size.
It's free size. Can size anybody.
Okay, I took my story from South Africa, and it was of particular interest to me that this happened in Africa. Jacob Zuma, the immediate past president of South Africa, was handed a 15-month imprisonment by the Constitutional Court of South Africa. And don't forget that this is the immediate past president, and his party is still in power, ANC. Do you understand? This is what we call rule of law. It was just contempt of court. He declined to go to court. And the major court that was that wanted his attention took his matter to the Constitutional Court, and it was without any fear or favor or anything. He was given a 15-month term to serve. And
can he appeal?
And
he will be appealing
months not too much for contempt.
15
months, not too much for contempt.
I don't know.
I
don't practice in their jurisdiction. I don't practice in their jurisdiction. So I cannot, I can't say that, but this is, and it is not for me to criticize the judgment of a court. What you have to do is to appeal to the
You are just excited that this can never happen in Nigeria.
Of law. And this is coming close to home because this happened in Africa. So I think we need to take a cue from this. Absolutely. Everybody must be subject to the law.
Yes, nobody should be seen above the law.
Yeah, nobody should be above the law. Whether you're the president or you're a newspaper vendor. Yes. Everybody must be subject to law.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Let me come to Ibiri.
Well, I think I have good news for the world. So now when you want to marry, you have to think, oh, should I ask? What's your genotype? What's your genotype?
He never reached Nigeria.
Calm down now, calm down. To reach by the grace of God. Amen. So scientists in Ireland discovered the gene causing sickle cell and a way to remove it. And they have removed it, they've done clinical trial on rats, and it's been massively successful. So they want to start with human beings to remove the sickle cell gene, and the person can live.
Wait, is it when the person is still an embryo?
Yeah. It's
or
a
when
DNA.
The person is born?
No, not when you're born. Like
when is a fetus?
You and I are here.
No, as you are like this, if you're sickle cells,
now.
So they would remove the gene.
The DNA, the gene that causes
your cell to be sickled. Then once they remove that gene.
No, but it is.
That's what they matter now. That's why it's called sickle cell. It's
she's
sickle cell.
correct. But my issue now is this. But my issue now is this. If you want to marry, you have to think, oh, should I ask? What's your genotype? In Ireland, they have about 500 cases of sickle cell, the whole population, and the majority of them are Africans. And yet, scientists were able to discover a permanent solution to it. And in Africa, that we have the vast majority of sickle cell cases, we're still busy praying and biding and calling them abiku. That's the problem. And that should tell us where we are right now, because we have the problem here.
And we were not even thinking of the solution. Those ones, it's not really a big deal.
It's not a big deal, and majority there is it's Africans that have it there. The Irish people, majority of them don't have it. Yet they discovered a permanent solution.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to understand what would be the cost implication, because I know they say that the bone marrow transplant is quite expensive.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the cost implication of this would be. But yeah, go ahead.
Since they've tried it on a large scale, just the way they did with rats and everything, I want to believe, and they want to start trying it on human beings. They'll try start the clinical trial. I want to believe just the way it is with COVID-19, because sickle cell is almost like, it's not. I'm of those people who say that it's it's not a death threat. Please, people need to stop that thing and making people feel victimized. But I want to believe that if they've started just the way the vaccine is going for free, they would definitely start the clinical trial. No, chill.
Okay.
If it's actually that good on a large scale, it might not be that expensive. A bone marrow transplant is that expensive because it is a bone marrow transplant. But it's a solution. They are removing the DNA, the gene. I think, in quote, let me add it.
So hopefully, let's watch. We'll keep monitoring it to see how it plays out. Because once they start the trials on humans, then we can now know, okay.
Exactly.
Because honestly saying, this sickle cell, it has really, really killed a lot of people. Needless death. And funny thing is that the people with sickle cell that live abroad, they survive better. So there's something in this our air.
No, aside that, even in Africa, there are people who survive. There's a woman of 86 now with 5 children. Yeah. Right? And there are people of 90 something.
It's not just about dying.
It's not about dying.
It's the pain of living as well. It's not about the death. Everybody dies. I mean, some sickle cell people live longer than people that don't have sickle cell.
I agree.
So it's about the pain they go through while alive, and that's where the worry is.
If she doesn't tell you, you would not know.
Yeah.
Exactly. There are a lot of people, if they don't tell you, you will not know. And there are some people who don't even, there are people who can tell you that they hardly ever see a crisis. They live a normal life. But it's just that when people see them just here, they're like, hey, yeah, hey, that is it.
It's because the stigma around it. But let me take Elsie's story.
Okay, my story is probably the biggest story at the moment. I would have flipped my hair, but it's a serious issue. So
I'm flipping my hair for you.
Nnamdi Kanu rearrested and returned to Nigeria to face trial. At a joint press briefing on Tuesday, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, said that international collaborative efforts with security agency aided the arrest and repatriation of Nnamdi Kanu to Nigeria. I think they deliberately did not let us know where exactly he was arrested. I don't know, but that is not in the information we have. Recall that Nnamdi Kanu was said to have fled the country in September of 2017 after an invasion of his home by the military somewhere near Umuahia in Abia State. He's back in the country anyway. He came back on Sunday. He's in the custody of the DSS. He was in court today, and in court he also responded saying that he's insisting that he did not jump bail. He had to leave Nigeria because his life was under threat. You know, so the drama is going on. We're asking questions. Where exactly was he arrested? Is he not supposed to be a UK citizen? What happened? Was he giving up there? Was he in transit and they got him? Like, what exactly is going on? But the main gist of the story is that he's in Nigeria and he's about to start facing trial. So, yeah.
Guess what?
Justice.
Madam Lawyer, you have anything to say?
Not at all.
Okay, let us move on. Moving on.
We move.
Yes, so my story is actually interesting. My governor of Edo State, Governor Obaseki, says parents need not send their children abroad again. And according to him, honestly speaking, first of all, I must commend, because I have been following Edo State closely. There's a lady I know, Uki Dari. She's the head of Edo Jobs. She's a young woman, I follow her on Instagram, and she's been on Waze. I mean, when we just started many years, I say many years, last year. So early days of Waze, she came on the show, and I could see that she's a visionary person. And working with, I mean, every day you go on her page, there is no time they're celebrating this kind of innovations and all of that. So working closely with Governor Obaseki, I know that, you know, yes, they're doing a lot of things, you know, to transform Edo State, especially, I mean, we have a narrative. Everybody knows the Edo State narrative. But, I mean, when he says that we do not need, as parents, to send our children abroad again, I'm wondering, chill, Oga, because, I mean, just which day was it? MC Oluwomo's picture surfaced online where his son had graduated from the university. It was in the UK or now, or in US, I can't remember.
In the US.
You know, so a lot of our politicians, a lot of our leaders, majority of their children are schooling abroad, not because of anything. There are so many factors. There are strike issues. There are so many issues. This infrastructure, you know, handling different kind of courses, and even the innovation that comes with education. We don't really have it in Nigeria. Do you understand? So please, by all means, if you have the opportunity to take your child, no.
But
let me finish. Can I land my point?
Let her land your point.
If you have the opportunity and you can afford it, you know, for now, Nigeria is not ripe for you to put your children in.
Are you telling me that over 100 private universities in Nigeria is not enough?
100 private universities?
Over 100 private universities in Nigeria is not an alternative to foreign education.
It's not.
So for me, I'm just going to stay on the story, and it's basically about what Obaseki is saying. He's not saying by force, don't take your children abroad.
What he's saying, that there are a lot of reforms happening.
Which is where his Edo best comes in, and all the reforms he's doing in the tertiary institution, and saying he wants to see a point where people don't have to. And I mean,
but he's not saying that it's actually happening, because
we all have to get to that point where we can say, yes, the education standard in this country.
There yet.
But he's doing something from where he is.
But you see,
while he's doing it, he's saying this is what he wants to see. He's not saying do not take your children abroad. And I'm supporting him, because when it comes to education and the implementation we need, it is not something that you would start and see the results immediately. Education, the results in education, we've had a conversation with an expert on this show. It's something that you begin to see after 5-6 years, even when you start now and do the right thing. So what he's saying is he wants to begin to see the future where we do not have to take our children. But how many people can actually afford to take their children out of Nigeria in this Nigeria that we are in?
In my opinion, there's nothing wrong with him having this optimism. Thank you. Optimism, right? Because of what he is doing.
Thank you.
There's nothing wrong with optimism, right? But if the reality, talk about people, that's what I'm going to. The reality of the situation. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that our educational system, we shouldn't work on it. Let us work on it before you start giving that advice to everybody. And maybe they should take their own advices too.
First, thank you.
When you take it, what I'll be optimistic.
But what I'm going to say is that whether your child schools in Nigeria or they go abroad, there are no guarantees to anything in life.
Of course.
So don't sprain yourself because my child must go abroad. There are very, very good alternatives in Nigeria. There's a particular university in Nigeria, and I can guarantee that I have seen their products.
They're fantastic. I know them.
I don't want to call it too. I call it Covenant University.
Yes, now, of course.
I would advocate for that university.
Maybe
if I have the opportunity, it's either Covenant University or
abroad.
So that's it.
But now this is where it's now a tricky situation for those that can afford Covenant University, and we have federal universities, unity universities. Those are what they should work on. It's not about private university where I get to pay. We know how much they pay. What about the parents and the children that cannot afford it?
Look at
what
what's
happens
happening
to them?
even in Kaduna State. I think this is a topic that we need to bring, because even in Kaduna State, you know, the Kaduna State governor just increased some of the higher institutions, and they're protesting.
For the best universities that you people go abroad, most of them are private.
Do you know how much you pay?
Harvard is it?
But what is
So we want good education in Nigeria, but we don't want to pay for it.
When we return from the break, we're talking submission, undressing submission. It's not university matter. Stay with us. We'll be right back.